A warm welcome and a heartfelt namaste to all of you on this occasion of the ingress of Sun into the Libra sign and the Navratris. There's a special one for all of you, a thought-provoking one for all of you today. As the Sun moves into the sign of Libra in the third pada of the Nakshatra of Chitra, Chitra means a pretty picture, but what's happening around is not very pretty picture. As Venus is retrograde in its own sign and it is conjunct Mercury, let us see what are the astrological implications of it all. Venus represents the second and the seventh house of the natural zodiac. It governs over wealth, relationships, public platform, public persona, and it also is the karaka of giving, beauty, art, and creativity. Mercury is the lord of the third house of speech, courage, initiation, initiative, energy, and the subconscious mind. It is also the house of contacts. As the sixth lord of the natural zodiac, Mercury rules over litigations, it rules over affairs outside of marriage, it rules over laws, and it deals with scandals also. It is also allegations. Sun is the fifth lord of the natural zodiac, ruling over creativity, ruling over fine arts, ruling over cinema, ruling majorly over celebrityhood. Venus here is retrograde. When there is a retrograde Venus, the sense of balance is thrown out of the window, and what comes in is a sense of judgment, the need to judge people, relationships, and what does not seem to be right is shown the door. So let us see all how it manifests. Had Venus been direct when Sun entered the sign of Libra, it would have been a beautiful expression with people enjoying relationships and taking them on to a different level. However, the retrograde Venus brings into it a very funny, a very different, and sometimes pathetic picture along with it. Let us check out how it all unfolds and manifests. As the lord of the fifth house, Sun is also depicting of romance. All of it taking place in Libra, the sign of balance, equality, and relationship. Because Venus is retrograde here, that Venus will take all the forced romance to court because it has the courage to do so and it has got a pending karma to settle. The Sun in the sign of debilitation gets its ego bashed by the retrograde Venus, a lady who is posited and very much in charge of her own house. Being in her own house definitely is an advantage for this Venus. The Me Too movement, which is caught up like a bushfire in the States, is started showing its head in India also. Let us check it out, how it happens by this transit. Here, as we see, Venus is retrograde. Sun moving into the third pada of the Chitra Nakshatra brings out the ugly picture of Chitra on the public platform. Venus retrograde in its attribute talks about sexual abuse on the public platform, especially when it is in the sign of Libra. The Sun, an authoritative person, and the expansion of ego on the lower octave has to bear the brunt of action in the sign of justice with the lawyer Mercury right ahead of it. With retrograde Venus in Swati, the young saplings are fighting a very difficult, a very yet a very determined battle to prove their point. However, is it only the film or the creative industry which is affected by it all and the only one to call the shots? Well, the fifth house is not just the celebrities in the movies. It is the celebrities in all walks of life, be it the academia, be it the workplace, or even the safe haven that we call homes. Therefore, we would be seeing this happening and operating on a large scale, on a large level. And ladies and women coming out from all spheres of life, all walks of life, to put in their two bit and to ask for justice. Once having found the courage and deciding to speak, these ladies are going to fight not just for themselves, but for the younger generation too. One which is susceptible to such an abuse, one which is susceptible to such problems coming their way. These young ladies, they would also be supporting the young ladies who may fall prey to such people. This is also a time to call upon those predators who have been taking their share without guilt and without any afterthought. In fact, they thought it was their birthright. Well, astrology is all about karma, and karma has a way of catching up. It has to be paid, it has to be balanced. It can be done now or it can be done in future. Future is not too far away. It is just a matter of time when future also becomes the present, and then the present becomes tensed. So karma having a funny way of catching up. When it does, there is no respite. Having said it all, a question would pop up in most minds. Why now? And why does it operate on this scale at this moment? We all know that Venus, Mercury and Sun transit the sign of Libra once a year, and many a times in Libra, Venus has gone retrograde in conjunction with Mercury and Sun. So why has it not occurred then? What is the statistics? What is the reason? What is the logistic of it all happening right now, right here? Well, let us take a look at the other parameters also. We see that Saturn, which is the 10th lord of the natural zodiac, sitting there in the 9th house of judgment and higher principles, and in the subtle, it is in Mula Nakshatra. This Karmadhikapati is the one that is going to dig up the dirt right from the grassroots levels to bring the truth onto the surface. Jupiter, which is the lord of the 9th house, justice personified, is sitting in the 8th house of sex and scandals. Aspecting the 12th house of prison, it calls and asks those predators to justify. Rahu, sitting in the nakshatra of Pushya, talks about deceit and cheating by preceptors and people belonging to the higher strata in the society. Mars and Ketu, sitting in the 10th house, contribute to their share in this retribution. Mars is very strong now as it sits in the 10th house of the natural zodiac, its sign of exaltation and its direction where it gets digbali or directional strength. So this Mars provides the vigor and the vengeance with which the Ketu delivers karmic retribution. All in all, this is a platform all set to get a lot of dirt out in the open, and there is retribution in the doing. Wherever this movement take us, may Venus get her share of justice and may the false ego be burnt to ashes. In the season of Navratri, when the feminine power is on a high tide, may the goddess Durga leave behind a legacy of feminine power strong enough to kill those Mahishasurs who thought it was easy, it was justified, and it was a done thing to dominate, manhandle, and misbehave with women when they are in a position of dominance. A happy Navratri to you all and a justified Surya Sankraman for everyone out there. Till we meet again, may the forces keep us safe. May the Divine Mother give us the power to stand along with the right. Till then, have a good day. Have a nice time.